Hey guys, so I just wanted to get on here and vent a little bit because one of the reasons why I left my job of 4 years is the misogyny and like rampant sexual harassment, you know? And here's the thing, like my ex-boyfriend used to like tell me this isn't an actual problem, you're making it a problem, this doesn't exist, whatever, right? Because he doesn't believe that I was actually getting sexually harassed, and he doesn't believe that there's any misogyny in the department. He's also a guy, and he's also part of the problem. But that aside, like, because he used to tell me that all the time, I used to just tell myself this isn't a big deal. I just think it is, like he's right. I need to take that into perspective. But coming back into the department, I forgot how bad it was, right? So here's the thing, I started there when I was 22, right? And I was the catering coordinator, which meant that I got to wear business casual and outside of this like bland uniform, right? And because I was business casual and I was wearing dresses and I was wearing like just nice clothing, it gave me a little bit more attention than everybody else, which once again is one of the things my ex-boyfriend was like, oh, you just like attention, so of course, like, that's why you're not being sexually harassed. It's just you wanting attention and you're getting it, kind of thing, right? And that plays in my mind all the time. Sometimes when I feel like, am I doing this for attention? Because in my mind, I'm like, never has it ever crossed my mind that's like, I'm seeking attention right now, right? Sometimes I get lonely and I wish I had like a friend, but never does it cross my mind that I'm seeking attention. So I was like, maybe he knows something that I don't. Maybe he can see this part of myself that I can't see, whatever, right? And my therapist says he's just a man child, but like, hopefully that is the case because I want to know about my bad qualities. But anyway, and one of the reasons why he would say that is because I let these guys down easy. Okay, well, it's taken me 27 years to realize that you can't let them down easy, right? And that sounds terrible, but like, I grew up in a small town. I was known as the nice girl in my small town. They're like, you're nice when you're known as the nice girl in your small town. Okay, because everybody in a small town is nice. So coming into the big city was a big culture shock for me, and I started this job when I came into the city. So yes, I was very nice when I started, and I feel like I have changed significantly since, and I'm way more open to being mean. But part of the reason why I never want to be mean to somebody is because everybody who's ever been mean to me, their voices and the things that they've said play in my head constantly. Like I said, tidbits from my ex-boyfriend, call me attention seeking, call me whatever, constantly play in my mind, and I'm like, am I being arrogant right now? Am I being like, am I doing this? Am I whatever? Right? And I'm constantly second guessing myself instead of just being confident in who I am and knowing my own motives. I'm constantly having their voices play in my mind, right? And I never want to be that for somebody else. I don't want to be the reason that they tear themselves down. So I've always tried to be nice, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, right? And here's the thing that I've gleaned after 27 years is that men and women just feel differently, right? So, well, I think like, oh, this person has a crush on me, like I don't want to break their little heart, I'm gonna let them down easy, right? This is not necessarily the case. They find me attractive, right? That's all there is to it. That's all there needs to be, because look, pretty women are a dime a dozen. And what I found is a lot of these guys that were sexually harassing me were sexually harassing other girls, okay, at the same time, because they didn't care so much about me or my personality. It wasn't that they were attracted to. It's like the fact that I was a 22-year-old woman, right, wearing dresses all the time. Like that's what they were attracted to. So knowing that, it's easier for me to be like, okay, no, I just need to be mean. But for the longest time, I wasn't. I was very nice, right? Well, anyway, so there was this one guy, and he was like 60 some odd years old with a wife, married, all right, always. Like, he made me so uncomfortable all the time. He worked in environmental services, so he had access to everything, and even though he never cleaned my office, because that was my job, and I'm typically a pretty clean person, so I kept it fairly well clean myself, so he never had to. He had access to that office, and he was in it all the time for no reason. I would walk into my office, and he'd just be in there. We're like, why are you here? You have your own office, number one. And like, it made me so uncomfortable to the point where I would avoid my office on days that I knew he was working and I knew his schedule. So I would avoid my days during, like, my office during those times as well. Right? Well, that does make it sustainable to work with. Anyway, after 4 years, he finally had gotten the hint, and then he started being super passive aggressive towards me. And here's the thing, yes, he works environmental services, so we didn't work together often, but that also meant that for events and things like that, he would be the one setting up the tables and the chairs and whatever. So I would have to work with him sometimes. And he, being 60 some odd years old, ready to retire, didn't give any fucks whether or not he messed up his job to be a dick to me. I cared because when he messes up his job, I have to go back and fix it because and also do my job. So I cared when he was being passive aggressive because it directly affected my job. Right? Well, one day I just came up to him and I confronted him and I was like, "Hey, do we have a problem?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't know why I ever like thought you would be interested. You're some young girl, whatever. And I was like, I don't know where I gave you the indication that I ever would be interested, as I like let you down every single time that you asked. I never talked to you outside of work. I never like agreed to hang out with you outside of work. We never like outside of work. We never interacted, right? And I very much made a point to not interact with you, and I told you no every time. So I don't know where the confusion was, right? I don't know why you're mad at me because I didn't want to be with, like, I didn't want to go out with you. Like, I don't know why that's a problem for you, but I do know that it's a problem for me because I see you, like, now that you're being passive aggressive towards me and you've finally given up, thank God. Now I see you following around other little girls that are younger than me, and it's a problem, right? So we had that conversation, right? And that was one of the reasons why I left, is because I can't work with people like that. But I also I would feel super bad like turning him in or whatever, but honestly I just should have, because he makes me so uncomfortable, right? And him being passive aggressive was way worse than him being slightly interested in me, because I can handle myself. Don't get me wrong. Like, if he ever did corner me or make me uncomfortable in the foster kitchen, there was plenty of things that I could use to handle myself. Even being the little pacifist that I am, like, I have my limits, okay? But anyway, but him being passive aggressive was directly affecting my job, and it was an issue. Well, and he's not the only one, right? But so anyway, that stuff pissed me off. But here's what is pissing me off now. Right now that I'm back, I'm not the catering coordinator anymore. They gave that position to somebody else. I was gone for 8 months. It just makes sense that they would have, right? But technically, what's ironic is even though that's a supervisor position and I'm now back to being entry level because I came back, I'm getting paid more. So I still got the better end of the bargain, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, now there's like this one guy downstairs. I'm sorry, guys, I have a cold. But anyway, this one guy downstairs, and him and I dated for like 6 weeks. Not very long. He decided that he didn't want anything serious. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not trying to fuck around and find out, because I've never been that person who wants to like just date somebody to date somebody. No. If I'm dating you, it's because I'm like wanting a long-term thing. It's because I want us to have like a life together or whatever. My ultimate goal is to have a life partner. All right? Doesn't mean that I have to get married. It doesn't mean like whatever. It means that like I want to live with you, I want to build a life with you, whatever. Right? That's my long-term goal. So 6 weeks in, if you say, hey, I don't see any type of future for us at all, I'm just fucking around and finding out, I'm be like, all right, that's my cue to leave. Right? I'm not saying you gotta be ready for something serious in 6 weeks. I'm just saying if you're never gonna be ready, I'm out. Don't waste my time. Right? Anyway, this guy has been trying to talk to me, and here's the thing, I'm attracted to assholes. I don't know why, that's just what I am. Right? And I don't like it. And I need to work on that with my therapist. Right? But anyway, so it's not like him going out of his way to talk to me is just a personality trait of his. It's not because he cares. Like, I know that full well. I know it full well. So it bothers me that he goes out of his way to talk to me. And I've told him, well, I haven't told him yet because I'm scared. But I need to, because like I said, I've learned that you can't let these guys down easy. Anyway, so he'll come up to me and be like, how was your day? How's your shift? I like your hair today. I like whatever. Right? And it makes me so uncomfortable because we dated before and it didn't work out. If we dated before and it didn't work out, don't come back. Don't come back. Like, it's over. It's done. If you didn't want a life with me before, you don't want one now. And if you've decided to yourself, I'm getting older, maybe I'll settle down with somebody, I guess she's okay. Nah, no, 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 no. Nah, baby, I am all or nothing. I'm gonna be the prize, I'm gonna be nothing at all. That's how it's gonna go, right? So it's like, I'm not somebody that you just settle for. Because I'd rather be alone than somebody be like, oh, I guess she's okay. I guess she's good enough. No, 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 no. Because that means when you're in your 50s and 60s, you're going to be just like this. Well, and like, it's not the age thing that bothers me, right? It's not the age thing, because the last guy that I dated was 53. So the age doesn't bother me. It's the fact that he's married, hating on these young women. It's disgusting. What are you doing? Right? And that's never where I want to be. So if I'm somebody that you just might be okay settling down, don't bother. Don't bother. Because I don't want to have to, like, help send you to jail one day because you've been sexually harassing some 22-year-old. Alright? Like, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do with my life. Okay? But anyway, so like I said, I'm pretty all or nothing. Like, and a lot of people aren't okay with that. And that's totally fine by me. Don't date me then. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Anyway, and then in the same week, there's this guy from high school that I had the biggest crush on. The entire time I was in high school, I had a really big crush on him. Anyway, we're not in high school anymore. And honestly, I had a crush on him because he's mean. Right? He was mean. And he treated me poorly. I don't know why that's my type. I don't know. It's some childhood trauma, something. I need to figure that out, or I'm always going to be alone. But anyway, so he texted me maybe like a year ago, and I was like, oh yeah, we can get caught up, you know, how you doing, whatever. And then after we got caught up, I was like, okay, well, it was nice catching up with you. And he was like, well, do you want to go on a date? And I was like, no. Right? First off, I don't know you. You don't know me. Second, I don't live around there anymore. Like, I don't live close by. There's no reason for us to go on a date, right? And then he got super upset that I was uninterested, like, went off, right? Oh, I didn't realize that having one basic conversation meant that I owed you something. So that's actually my bad. But, like, that's on me, fam. That's on me. Well, anyway, so then this week, he texted me again, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't have him blocked. What? Oops. You know, I don't really like blocking people. I really don't. Anyway, so then I texted him back, and I was like, hey, didn't you send me a very angry text about how uninterested I was? And he was like, well, yeah. And I was like, cool. So respectfully, fuck off. And that's what I said. And honestly, that's the type of energy I need to be bringing. That's the type of energy that I need to keep around for when guys make me feel uncomfortable. So I just need to gather up the courage to do that again. Like I said, y'all, I don't like being mean to people. I really don't. It's like the bane of my existence to be mean. But sometimes you just gotta